What is up, YouTube? It is Dubs on the mic here, and I'm coming at you with another Andrew Luck video. If you do watch my videos and you are subscribed, then thank you, and you have been watching these videos, and I've done a couple. I think I'm on this is probably like the 4th video or 3rd or something like that, I'm not sure. But I have week 9 coming up, well 9, 10 coming up next week, and then I'll start closing on the playoffs, and I believe that my Colts will end here in this Andrew Luck player. I believe we're undefeated right now, and a big part of that is because for some reason in Superstar mode, doesn't matter what difficulty you play on, all Madden or whatever, your defense is unstoppable no matter what team you're playing as. Like if I was Andrew Luck and I was on Jacksonville playing on all Madden, my defense would give up like 15 points a game, which it's really easy to get more than 15 points, even on all Madden, as I fumble there, but luckily we recover it. But yeah, so in this commentary I want to talk about a couple things. I first off want to talk about Green Bay, and if you think they'll go 16-0, I personally do think they'll go 16-0, and I think they're going to win the Super Bowl too. I just don't see any teams that'll challenge them besides the Saints, really. And I think if New England figures out something with their secondary, I think that they can also challenge them, because it needs to be a high-scoring team that challenges the Packers, because Aaron Rodgers is just unstoppable. You can't beat him unless you outscore him, and you keep him off the field. So you need a team with like a good running attack that can hold the ball long and still pick up those first downs with a couple 3rd down and 2nd down conversions. Yeah, so I think the Saints and New England are the only teams that can really beat Green Bay. Well, I don't think really New England can, even though I'm a New England fan. I think if it ends up being New England Green Bay in the playoffs, I don't think New England can win. I think it's going to be Green Bay all the way to the Super Bowl. And I think if they keep the team that they do, I think they can do the same thing next year. But I don't know if they're going to go 16-0 next year. But I think they can win the Super Bowl again next year, and maybe go for the three-peat. But that is a long way ahead, so you never know what will happen. But yeah, so the next thing I want to talk about is Tim Tebow. A couple of kids in my school. I'm in high school. A couple of the kids in the school were like walking up the stairs, and there's this main staircase in the hallway, and like they were Tebowing, and I saw that on ESPN that some kids in New York got suspended for Tebowing. These kids didn't really get suspended, but they got detentions for Tebowing at the top of the stairs, and some kids were Tebowing on top of desks in classroom at the end, like in between classes and stuff. So it's been pretty Tebow crazy at my school, and I go to school in New England, so we're not really big Broncos fans, obviously, or Patriots fans, but for some reason kids really like Tim Tebow, and I kind of see why, because he's given a new look to the Broncos, a more exciting look to the Broncos, and he gives Broncos fans hope for the future and for the present, because he's turned the Bronco team around. I mean, like, I don't remember, I'm not a big Broncos follower, so I don't remember what their record was earlier in the year, but I remember it wasn't too great with Kyle Orton at quarterback. But I do think Kyle Orton does fit in Kansas City, though. So I hope so, because I have Dwayne Bowe on my fantasy team, and I'm in the fantasy playoffs. Because in fantasy football you don't play in week 17, so I have Dwayne Bowe, so I hope this week, week 15 and week 16, Dwayne Bowe can have good weeks. And I kind of like Kansas City, though. Like, well, I'm not like a fan of Kansas City, but I've kind of always liked Kansas City teams. I don't know why. I just like their uniforms, and I like Jamal Charles. I just kind of feel bad for him. And anyone who owns him in fantasy, because he was out all this year. I think he played like one game, or not even one game, or maybe he got injured in the beginning of week 2. I don't remember specifically, but I know he didn't get to do much. For anyone in fantasy football or for the Kansas City team, which is kind of unfortunate, because I like Jamal Charles, and he's a pretty versatile back, and he brings a lot of things to Kansas City that they are lacking because they don't have him, because he's injured. But the last thing I want to talk about is the Giants-Cowboys playoff race. Personally, I think the Giants are gonna get in because Tony Romo is not always consistent, and so, and especially in like places where they're down in the fourth quarter, he's not the most reliable clutch quarterback there is, and so sometimes he chokes. But I think Eli Manning is a little bit better in those clutch situations, and that's why I think Eli Manning will take this team to take the Giants to the playoffs, and I hope so too because Eli Manning is my fantasy quarterback. So hopefully he does good. But I could really care less which of those teams makes it into the playoffs. So yeah. But comment below if you to the answer of like who do you think, if you think Green Bay will go 16-0 and if you think they'll win the Super Bowl, and also if you're either a Giant fan or a Cowboy fan, comment who you think will win that division, or if you just want to comment to say who you think will win the division anyways, go ahead, feel free. But another thing is, if you guys like basketball videos, I posted a Jimmer Fredette video, and because I created him well, I didn't create him, I play as him in NBA 2K12, and so if you like those, subscribe for more, go check that out. I'm going to be uploading those relatively regularly, and if you like Call of Duty videos, also I make those too. I haven't really been uploading that many of them, but I do have a ton saved up on my computer, ready to upload, ready for me to commentate over and do all that stuff on them. So yeah, the video is coming to pretty close to the end, and yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for some more content, and I'm out.